Hello again, my friends, students. Sifu Jay here, Artist of Truth. On this very windy day, good to see you again. I have been making lots of videos without an internet connection, and I've made a lot about martial arts and a lot about nutrition and philosophy, as the Artist of Truth channel is mostly about. It's a beautiful day though today, don't you think? I'm out here on the land. I'll try to be very precise and a little more vocal in my pronunciations and enunciations, I guess, so that you understand me with the wind. It's been a while since we spoke, since we hung out, and I've had thousands, literally, of requests for videos. I had a lot going on in life, and I had to take some time for myself. I think I may have posted a video. It's been a little while, I don't recall. It's been at least long enough for me to grow this beard. Interesting thing about the beard is someone I know told me they didn't think an American Indian could grow a beard. Interesting. So, speaking of ignorant things that people say, how often are you talking with someone and they give you the advice, you know, about whatever it is that you're doing, and their health and their life is just wrecked, totally wrecked, completely. You know, don't try this new thing. It's crazy, it's a fad. Oftentimes that is the case. Usually, though, that's advice given by someone who's never tried it, unless they've had experience with something similar. That often goes for diet, philosophy, religion, science, the earth, anything, breathing. Someone is going to tell you not to do something, mostly because it is different from whatever it is that they know or they think they know. And it doesn't make them a bad person, it just means that they don't understand, usually. I have done it in my life as well. I'm trying to adjust, I apologize, so that the sun is not, bam, right there. Usually when it comes to food, I get it from people. I try to, as best as I can, give this information out on philosophy or as a free thinker, to do the research and to try to understand where it is that our information originates. Usually, everything that we know about milk and all of that is given to us by the companies that provide the milk. You understand? Or the medicine in some way. Whatever medicine you're going to have, everything that you know about it, you know through the science, and the science comes from the corporations who back the universities who do the research. It's very hard. It is very difficult. Oh, we got some military people flying over here. It's very difficult to get through the mountains of trash, the sea of garbage, in order to find the truth. But at least if you're putting forth effort, you'll find the time, you'll find it nurturing to your mind, to your body, because you'll discover things that you may not have known previously. Like that milk does not do a body good. And in fact, it is one of the worst things that a human being can consume, period. Now, if it's coming straight from a cow that, you know, is the exact genetic makeup of a cow from 10,000 years ago, I guess, you milked it outside, sat it, did all that, it's still not really good for you. But good for you is a contextual thing. It's in context. Is water good for you? Sure. Is water good for you if you can't swim and you're in the middle of the ocean? Maybe not so much. Or if you consume a large amount of it in a very short period of time, it can kill you. So when people say something is good for you, they can be catering their statements very carefully. So I'm trying to offer my information as unbiased as possible, but it's a little bit hard to do that. Once you become liberated from the will of others, the trash, the ideas, the dogma, the doctrine, all of the things from religion, ideology, from science itself, from our government, from television programs, from movies, from books, our parents, their parents. We're just indoctrinated from birth. And all of these things that we usually don't work very hard to liberate ourselves from it. We don't work as hard to understand why they think these things. And if a person in an authoritative, in a position of authority, says to us that something is, then we usually accept it, unless they don't happen to be our candidate. You get what I'm saying. But why? I know that I've said it many times, but I'm not the first to say it. Don't believe me just because I say it. It is belief and believing. You know, play with words here for a second. Belief, like a belief system. Believing something because you experience it. You know it. It's not quite the same thing. Not because someone said it so. And I never tested that idea. You know, not like the flat earth people now going, oh, the earth really is flat, it's propaganda. That's a little bit ridiculous. But in a way, corporations and global groups could control our thinking to something of sort. But if you want to be free, if you want to have health, try, discover, train. You're training yourself every single day. Every day. When you talk to yourself at night, when you go, man, you know, I hate my job. Really thinking about cheating on my wife. Just not happy. Or a husband, or vice versa. And I'm being extreme here to make a point. And you just steady saying, you know, I'm fat. I don't really like the way I look. And you do that enough, you basically become all of those things that you were saying. You become this negative energy, this negative thought process. It's a fact, you know. I get the stuff on my videos all the time. It's just bro science, man. It's not real science. Take your spiritual nonsense somewhere else. You know, and there's a fasting video that I have. I'm talking about the things that I was experiencing, being, you know, where I felt like I was going to faint, all of these things. And the guy comes out, oh, another dork making a video. But it's not really this person's fault, I don't think. It is their fault for making the statement, but it's the information. They go, this guy's saying, you know, don't eat meat or don't drink milk, which I'm not usually saying don't necessarily. I'm saying experiment, and mostly with milk, I would say don't drink milk. But whatever it is that I'm giving you information freely. I'm never saying it's exact, because we are all different. But we're all essentially made of the same thing. This we're all different stuff gets twisted up into each person's body's different, and I may require some milk from my skin. I don't mean to pick on anyone. Be like, oh, why are you making fun of people with accents? I'm not. I'm just being funny. That's what I do. Simply to punctuate my video here. But I do get it from the people that usually sound that way. Or you get it from, yo, man. The same on the other end of the spectrum. Knowledge can be power if it becomes wisdom, if you know how to use the knowledge. If it's just data on a sheet, or data, if it's just ones and zeros, it's just information, it's not knowledge, it's not valuable. When you can apply that to something in your life, to your family, to your relationship, I've seen people's entire lives change when they unlock their eyes. Eyes pop open. Wow, you know what? I was taking 27 medications. Now I'm taking 6. And that's after 6 months of simply just, you don't have to be a raw vegan, but mostly a vegan. But you're eating overly processed, I guess. Would be a good way to say it. Whole food, plant-based. You're changing your life. People come off this stuff, you know. There's so much misinformation out there. My father, I'm struggling with this with my family now. People that go, you know, I'm sitting and I'm talking, and I really genuinely try to reach out why not just try this for 2 weeks and see if maybe you feel better? You know, it doesn't have to be my father. I've went through this with people who are gone now. When gone as in dead, who had a chance to change their life. Well, doc said I'm dead, so may as well keep smoking, may as well keep drinking. I'm gonna eat what I want, pig foot, milk, whatever. Bacon. Bacon's good for you. Haven't you seen? Now bacon's back. Eat bacon. Stay away from greens. They give you the gout. The gout. Don't eat cabbage. It's bad for you. Bacon, eggs, fat, greasy food. It's the best thing ever. Saw a man who's claimed he ate Doritos for a year and went to McDonald's every day. And this guy's promoting this stuff. Oh, it's proved that it's nonsense. It's just how you live. I eat at McDonald's every single day. I decided I was going to eat only junk food and lose weight. And he lost weight. But who knows what he really did? I mean, sure, if you're snorting... I don't know who will see this video. So if you're doing some drugs and snorting some things and drinking certain things and all of these other things, and sure, you might lose some weight. But losing weight doesn't define health. I know lots of skinny, very unhealthy people. I happen to be shredded out like a little Bruce Lee squirrel. But if my insides and my mind is unhealthy, and I have cancer and all these other issues going on that we don't see, being skinny doesn't matter. But I can guarantee you that just saying I'm round and I love my curves doesn't make you healthy either. It's about balance in your own life, being able to take a little bit of a smack. I've taken many. For people to say, oh, you think you know what you're saying? Okay, check this out. Then I get hit like, oh, wow. And, you know, so you go and you learn, and then you can provide like I'm doing. I'm a teacher. I teach people. But as a teacher, basically the only thing you're doing is leading someone, giving them information, allowing them to do the process and experiment when they see parts of things, certain things fail, and it's not themselves just failing, but that process fails, then you adjust and you modify and you adapt and you try new things. Finally, you find this middle way, something that's not too extreme on either side of the spectrum, but it works for you. Oh, the wind. Sorry, hand got all in the shot. But please, do something for yourself, something for your family. You'll find that as you clear up your diet, you don't need medication. Maybe certain things. I'm not a doctor, but I can guarantee you that how much doctor training is involved in nutrition. How much nutritional science doctors get? Bam! 0 usually. There are the exceptions to the rule if they pursue it on their own. But I've spoken with quite a few physicians, very well-educated, well-meaning individuals who have had no nutritional training, no science. But even in nutritional training, I'm certified. What does that mean? Certification, what is it? Somebody says, I acknowledge that you know the material that we told you was this way. That's it. That's all a certification is. If I have a master's degree in chemical biology or something, chemistry or physics, it means I know the material that they gave to me. Now, when people step outside of that, like an Einstein or someone, and they go, I don't really think that, even though I know some physics, I'm using this principle of physics, I'm using this guiding concept that you've given me to discover something. And I just discovered something. You know what? People looked at Einstein and said, I think you're crazy. Just go back to the patent office. It's taken 100 years to prove some of the things that Einstein knew to be so. And it's not because other people didn't know it to be so. It's because they were locked in. Their whole careers depended on it. Whole career. I hope that I'm not rambling too much. All this ties together if you're really with me. What I'm getting at is that if my bank account depends upon you believing that milk does a body good, and no matter how many little backwoods squirrel-eating vegans, well, shouldn't say squirrel, eating like a squirrel, not squirrel eating. But you know what I meant. If someone like myself comes out of the woods to say, hey, let's get a group of people together and let's lobby Congress, whose pockets actually depend upon the oil industry, the dairy industry, the beef industry. We go, oh, we're going to make changes. We're going to get better food into schools. But not so much. We're going to take out Skittles, maybe. But we're still going to be serving giant cheese pizzas and pork, and grease. They are putting some fresh stuff in there. You throw an apple on the tray, we just made a change. At least there's an apple there. But it's not the same thing, because you don't make dramatic change. Like when you find lead in the water. You understand? And when people's whole careers, their lives, everything depends on that, it takes 50 years for people to start doing what's happening now in Flint. Who do we trust? I tell you who you can trust, not me. You can trust me, but if I tell you can trust me, that doesn't mean you can. Trust you. Trust yourself to take what I'm saying, do the research, experiment, over and over and over. Leap over the people that tell you this is crazy. Pass them by. It doesn't have to be about food, philosophy, nutrition, life, whatever. Whatever it is that you're pursuing, that you go, you know what, I have this idea. I mean, that's crazy, you never do it. Better go back to work at McDonald's, boy. That's what I've got my whole life. I think I can make a career. I think I can make money playing music. No, you'll starve forever. I have starved a lot. That is true. But I've never really had to work. I mean, I've spent a lot of time struggling, not sleeping, driving all over the place. All of my friends with me, believing in me. Many hours practicing, things like spent lots of money. But I don't really consider that work. You know what work is? When I go somewhere else, when I'm walking in, I'm thinking about choking out the person that I work for. Because they don't care. I go to the giant superstore, go to work there for 27 years, retire when I'm basically dead from eating all this poison and having to hear all this stuff as I walk back and forth inside this, breathing this fake air, drinking this chlorinated water. Inside there, indoctrinated into everything so I can't break out. I'm clocking in, thinking about taking myself out all the time. By the time I retire and I have this bogus retirement that was lost in some scams that corporations committed, that the government gave them a free pass on, and they just up it again. That's work. I don't mean digging ditches or building something with your hands. That's the work of life that's moving, tilling the ground. I grew up on a farm. That's what we did. You worked. If you didn't come outside and do something, you didn't eat. You didn't live. Now we just go see what happens. Push a button. Take a pill, maybe to get better. Maybe the next savior just jump out of the clouds and, you know, lift me up, hook me up. And I don't mean to step on anyone's religion. I didn't mean it that way, although it could apply very well. Simply meant if you're waiting on somebody to reach down and pull you out, there are people out there doing it. I'm trying. I'm doing this. If we come together, we help each other. That's not what I'm saying. If you're waiting on Big Brother, if you're waiting on somehow the next president's going to get us out of this, you know, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't think that that's going to be the case. You have to save yourself and allow others to save you. But maybe you're saving them. So why wait? Change your mind, change your life. The mind is every single thing. You know, people, I've said this before, people who have no arms and legs but are alive, somehow through all this scientific testing, turned out to be much happier than what could be considered normal people. It's an interesting concept. I hope you can hear me with this wind and all of my rambling and nonsense, and my mind is just boom, like that, whatever, bam, head explosion, just knowledge. I struggle to find a way to teach, and I'm very critical of myself. How do you give people information without it becoming dogma, doctrine, even if it's true? Someone once told me, well, even truth is relative. I doubt that. Truth is truth. Your experience of something is relative. Without getting into the subatomic quantum particle issue here, this tree is there. Gravity, whether you call it gravity or you use some click pop language, is there. You might think it's relative, but if you leap from the top of your house, you'll find out how relative it is not. It is there, and some things are just like gravity. Well, I'm going to bounce right over a 20-minute mark here on a video, and if you're still with me, Thank you. You either think I'm entertaining, or you're really understanding. Sometimes I'm more straightforward, and other times it's just raining out, and I can't even control it sometimes. I think that if I didn't meditate, if I didn't train myself in my mind, I would talk so fast and jump all over the place so much that these videos would be worthless to anyone but myself, maybe. Take your life back. Take back your life. Easiest way to say it. Do research for yourself. My friends, try a month plant-based diet. You don't have to go raw, you don't have to go crazy. Go vegan, though. Non-processed whole food. What would it hurt for 30 days to drink only water or juice that you make and eat just fresh fruits and vegetables? Rice, you don't have to go raw. Make you some rice. Make you some soup. Get lots of different types of beans, nuts, seeds. Most people that live around where my parents live grew up eating. When you come in, it smelled like, excuse my expression, well, duty in the house because there's cabbage on or collard greens. You know? So it's not like you're not familiar with it. Okay? Try it. See what happens. What are you afraid of? What could happen? 30 days. How long have you spent eating eggs and bacon and craziness? Drinking milk. Think about how much money. We just stop at a gas station. I do it all the time. But I'm buying water or something. But if I go in, just doing that though. You stop at a gas station or a convenience store, you get out, you go in, you buy some peanuts, which is what I would be getting. Some water, cashews, funding this other entity. And you do that several times, and I know someone very, very close to me that every single day it's like, will you stop at the store, just buy me 5 teas? Think about how much money we would save if we just changed a few of those things. And then this person, it's not that they're bad people. Like I said, I do the same thing. I get caught in a trap until I catch it in my mind. Bam, something happens. What are you doing? And I'm only talking about money and adjustment in life and that. Money causes stress, but money is very fake. Where before I could just bring you a couple loads of corn and, you know, you may come over and dig a ditch for me, or if you're a carpenter, you may help build a room on my house, but that doesn't usually happen. Now I can give you a piece of paper that represents nothing, and you'll give me some food that's been injected with pituitary gland juice from another animal, growth hormone, antibiotic, arsenic, whatever it takes to make that food last until it gets to the consumer. And we're consumers in every way. The only thing that exists in this life is what you see right now. Everything is happening simultaneously. We see time in this weird way. I don't want to get out too much with that, but my point is that we've lived our lives eating, thinking, derogatory, negative stuff we do to ourselves. And we don't take advice from people unless they're somehow famous. You know, they got a bootylicious video out. Some of the sickest, most ignorant, backwards people in the world. And again, not that it doesn't make them like terrible human beings, but it's because of this right here. I guess if it could make a person sick or a bad person if they're sitting on the board at a giant chemical company, which I don't want to mention their name, everybody knows them, I say anyway, Monsanto, and they also sit on the board for the FDA, and their whole idea is to make people dumber, slower. Follow orders, right? Your baby's got Zika, don't breed. We need to control the population. Although when a government owns a patent on these diseases, it's an interesting thing when they just suddenly become an epidemic. We can trace it all back to what we eat, where we live, our environment, what we drink, what we say, what we consume with our minds and in our bodies. what we breathe, where we live, what we choose to look at. You know? It's a great discovery to say, you know, the important things in life aren't so much, you know, it's not so much what you look at, but what you see. This is a little bit of a spin on an old saying. You can walk right past many things and never see them. Never look up. You see the base of the tree, but not the birds above you. I hope that my video styling, which I don't really have, I'm just being honest. I'm throwing it out here. Might do some creative editing here, spice it up. But I'm being honest with you. None of this is rehearsed ever. Mostly criticism they get online is from people who are criticizing. He just rambles all the time. It's just bro science. It's bro science. He didn't know anything. Ask your doctor. I always say doctors, you know, most doctors are really, really good people that are trying to help people who are just a part of the system now, who is demanded of them to write certain amounts of prescriptions and things. If they go, well, you know, you could just drink some cranberry juice and, or if you ate as a vegan, which some people do, say that to them. Clean up your diet, go raw. Right now you got a chance. Or you can take this pill, just keep eating bacon, see what happens. Most people choose the pill. Sorry, little alert there from my battery. My friends, I love everyone, even my enemies. With the philosopher that I am, the teacher, teaching nonviolence, still love my enemies. Doesn't mean I won't snap a neck. Defending yourself. I was talking with my beautiful wife about this. Then I'm gonna let you go. You can't mount a defense if you don't know what's there. You can't do one half of the thing and not the other. If you're gonna be nonviolent, you have to be able to ward it off, right? Or you'll end up like Tibet. Trust me, I'm on my knees in the practice all the time, so I love Tibet. Laying down and dying isn't being nonviolent. The same thing with your knowledge in your body. You can't say, I'm going to clean up everything. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to stop drinking soft drinks. I'm quit eating Doritos. I'm going to stop eating after 5. I'm just going to sit on the couch and watch TV. I'm not going to change the way I think. I'm not going to really immerse my mind into it. Sometimes just changing the way you think, even before you start to change your diet, when you start thinking about changing your diet and you repeat this over and over and over and over again in your mind, you say, oh, I lost 3 pounds today. It's a fact. But 28 minutes, 4 seconds. Please, 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 take your life. Take your life back. Take it away from the hands of people who have a vested interest in keeping you stupid, keeping you sick, keeping your children sick. How many generations does it take before we're crawling around here in America at the feet of the new kings? The elite get richer, and they're just a very small group, but they keep us out here, kill each other. It's, this person's just because the white people are shooting the black people, and the black people are shooting the white people, and people they get stirred up with that. They don't even think about it. I'm eating. They turn that drink up and eat their food. Take that medication, however that comes about, and they miss the fact that they've been misled some way to hate their brother, a person that's more like them than any other thing. So they don't listen to their brother or their sister or their friends. That being said, I've done all I can do. Help me change. Help me change myself. Change with me. Help me change the world. It's changing regardless. We have to be ahead of the change. We have to make the change. Can't do one without the other. Mount your defenses. If I've said anything that inspires you, done my part. As always, I love everyone. Talk with you soon.